This Sunday is the disappearance day, Dhirobhav Tithi of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. He is the Guru of Srila Prabhupada. So till Sunday we are going to read from this book titled Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava. I think within ISKCON this is most definitive guide on BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Thakur. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhava was written after 25 years of research within that area of Bengal and Bangladesh. So much research was done. So why shall we read about him? As the author mentioned from this book, that Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, our Acharya, he was such a great and illustrious personality that we want to know who is his Guru, who inspired him, who gave him that order to preach. We want to know about him. So we would like to know. Okay, so beginning today, we'll read the Managalacarana as well as early life and appearance of BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Thakur. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyadi Pashtata Deshatarine. Now let's look at the translation, what we just read. This is the Pranam of Srila Prabhupada. I salute him who is known in the world as His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is the same status as Lord Vishnu and is most dear to Lord Krishna. Then the next one, I offer homage to the servant of Sarasvati Goswami, who by preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya is delivering the Western countries from impersonalism and voidism. So Srila Prabhupada, servant of BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Thakur. So we want to know him, about him. He preached the message. He repeatedly said, of course, we see Prabhupada as a representative of Krishna, and he brought this message. But Prabhupada would often repeat that I'm just an instrument. My Guru Maharaj is preaching. He's propagating this movement. I am simply the instrument, his instrument. Now let's look at the Pranam mantra of Srila BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Thakur. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Iti Namine. I salute him who is known in this world as His Divine Grace Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada, who is the same status as Lord Vishnu and is most dear to Lord Krishna. Second one, Shri Varsha Bhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha. So from the Pranamanta we can understand the mission of the Acharya. I offer homage to him whose eternal identity is Shri Varsha Bhanavi Devi Daita, which actually this translates to one who is very dear to Srimati Radharani, the daughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, who is powerful, an ocean of transcendental mercy, and a deliverer of the science of Krishna. So what this is characterizing BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Thakur. One is his name. At younger age he was known more as Shri Vrishabhanavi Devi, which is one who is dear to the daughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu, Radharani. Kripabdhaye, Abda, I think means ocean, ocean of mercy. Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayine, he is giving the science of Krishna. BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Thakur wrote so many books, gave lectures, not like this, but they will be 3-4 hours, sometimes 6 hours, explaining the science of Krishna. At any time of the day, any day of the week, if someone just comes and asks him questions, he'll speak. There'll be no gap for time for eating or sleeping. He'll just speak. Later we'll see how at 1 or 2 a.m. once he was chanting in Sri Chaitanya Mat, Mayapur, on his veranda, and someone was from the Brahmacharya Ashram was going to the washroom and was coming back, and he said, "Who is that?" "It's me, Prabhupada." "Me who? Mind? Intelligence? Soul? Who are you?" Then he went on to give a lecture for 45 minutes. And that brahmachari was middle of the night. He just broken his sleep. So this is characterizing Sri Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayini, the giver of the science of Krishna. Prabhave Namaha, Prabhave, he was powerful. One person effected a change. He had to fight so many forces, the caste Goswamis, and so many, and these empiricism, which was entering Bengali religious society, trying to give scientific explanation for science, for religion, and trying to mundanize religious concepts. Some societies had started then, which are still going on. He had to fight that. So alone he fought. At one time he said, "I'm alone. I'll be alone. I don't mind," because he became so heavy that even his disciples said, "See, we think you should tone down." He said, "I don't care. I'll not tone down. I came to give a message. I came to do some work. And if all my disciples need me, I'll still do it. I'll do." Prabhavenama, powerful. Now, third one. Madhuryo jvala premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhakti Da Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute. So, Madhuryo jvala, let's look at in this word here first. Rupanuga Bhakti Da. O giver of Sri Rupa Goswami's treasure, Bhakti, Bhakti Da, giver of Bhakti. Who gives Bhakti? Devotee of Krishna. One who is a powerful devotee, he will give it more and easily. One who has Bhakti can give Bhakti. Bhakti Da. O giver of Rupa Goswami's treasure of Bhakti, which is replete with divine love of Radha and Krishna. Shri Madhuryo Jala Premadhya Rupanuga Bhakti Da. He is giving Bhakti, but Bhakti was given before. Here in southern India also, other acharyas came, they gave Bhakti. But what is different here? Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya. He is giving that love of God, which is in the line of Rupa Goswami, Madhuryo Jvala, the divine love of Radha and Krishna. I bow down to you, the very form of Lord Chaitanya's mercy potency. Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute. Gaura had appeared. He appeared few centuries before. So he is described as the form of the mercy. Mahaprabhu, he came. He was merciful. He came to bring his mercy. So I am sitting here. At that time people were sitting in different parts of India. How will they get the mercy? The very form, Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya, the Shakti, the energy potency, he is that form. So when he came, you can understand that Mahaprabhu's mercy has come in his form. He's speaking, he's preaching, he's organizing the Sankirtan movement. Namostute, I offer my obeisance. And this fourth one, Namaste Gauravani Shrimurtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Bhaktisiddhanta Dvanta Harini. I offer homage to you, the manifestation of Lord Chaitanya's words. Gaura Vani Shrimurtaye. So Mahaprabhu spoke. Before that, few centuries ago, Mahaprabhu spoke and gave so many lectures. He preached, he debated. That was then. We are here. But because Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur had appeared, it is understood that the manifestation of Lord Chaitanya's words had appeared. The words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu changed so many people. We read about how he changed sannyasis in Kashi. He changed the Pathan soldiers, the Chand Kazi, he changed them. Powerful words. But here came the manifestation of the words of Lord Chaitanya. Gauravani Shri Murte, servant, savior of the fallen souls, Dina Tarini, savior of the fallen. How much was he a savior? Actually, they were preachers, so many. But the risks he took and the effort he took more or less alienated him from a lot of society and put his life in danger. That much he had mercy. People will preach, we'll preach, I'll also preach. But how much will we preach? Not that our life is in danger or we should. He did. But we are not on that level. Rupanuga Viruddha Bhaktisiddhanta Dvanta Harine. I think many people remember this phase of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's preaching and life. Rupanuga Viruddha Bhaktisiddhanta Dvanta Harine. The remover of the darkness of incorrect conclusion that opposed the teachings of Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami had come, he had taught Mahaprabhu's mission and mood. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadame Dadati Sapadantikam. We understand Rupa Goswami, Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. He understood the mind of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. So everyone took shelter of him, even though he was not the oldest. Sanatana Goswami was the oldest, but he got the mercy first, and he had that position of giving the mind of Mahaprabhu's teachings and mood. So, in due course of time, it became covered. Kali Yuga had already manifested. And that is the nature of the material world. That sakale namata yoga nashta parantapa. In course of time, science of yoga becomes covered. So here it's mentioned that he specifically came to clear that path. If you're going to oppose these people who are opposers of dharma, then you have to have a force. You have to have that energy, commitment, will. He had it. So here it's written, we'll just read the first part. There's a write-up here explaining about this Pranam mantra. As one who is cherished by Srimati Radharani, Shri Varshabhanimi Devi Dayita, dear to Srimati Radharani, Srila BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati, although appearing in the world, Bhutale, is of the same status as the Supreme Lord Vishnu, Vishnupad, and is most dear to Lord Krishna, Krishna Prishta. One thing is that you may find the words of this book is very high. Try to understand the English. Notwithstanding or characteristic of his exalted status, he extends himself to and uplifts fallen souls, Dina Tarini. Even though he was such a high status, he came to pick up the people who were so fallen, who were not on that path, who were off the path of Krishna Bhakti. Thus he is an ocean of mercy, Kripabdhi, and indeed the very form of Lord Chaitanya's mercy potency. His distribution of Lord Chaitanya's mercy is particularly via the medium of his message, of which he is the divine manifestation. Gauravani Sri Murti. Lord Gauranga came to give the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service in divine love, Unatajvala Rasa, which Srila BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati distributes in the line following Sri Rupa Goswami, Madhuryojala Premedya Sri Rupa Nuga Bhaktida, who presented the kernel of Lord Chaitanya's teachings by defining Shuddha Bhakti as favorable devotional service to Krishna, devoid of any trace of personal desire, anya bilashita shunya. In his Pranam mantra actually is a term which appears in Chaitanya Charitamrita, written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Anarpita charim chirat karuna avatirna kalau samarpayitum unatajala rasa swabhakti shriyam. Mahaprabhu came, what was his mission? And that word appears, that phrase, unatajala rasa, that he came to give what was not given after a long time. Anarpita charim chirat karunya avatirna kalau. Out of his mercy, avatirna, he descended, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, avatirna kalau, in age of Kali, unatajala rasa swabhakti shriyam, to give his love, his Krishna. Krishna came to give his own highest love, which is unatajala rasa. Again, this appears in the Pranam of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. We can see how closely he was related with the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as were all the acharyas. But specifically here, it says, Lord Gauranga came to give the most sublime and radiant mellow of devotional service in divine love, unatajala rasa. So, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur came as his personal messenger to effect that mission. And our Srila Prabhupada, Namaste Saraswati Deve, he came as servant of Saraswati Thakur again to assist him in that mission. So, to differentiate and protect Shuddha Bhakti from various prevalent vitiated forms that claimed stewardship of Rupa Goswami, yet grossly or subtly nourished desires other than to satisfy Krishna. Okay, that at the time there were other people claiming, we are Rupanugas, we are Gauriyas, we are also propagating. But he came to oppose those who are saying that, but who are not really on the Rupanuga path. And they had grossly or subtly nourished desires other than to satisfy Krishna. Srila BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati, as the servant of the best of Rupa Goswami's followers, removes the darkness of incorrect conclusions that oppose the teachings of Rupa Goswami. Rupanuga Viruddha Pasiddhanta Dvanta Harini, and is the powerful deliverer, Dai Prabhu, Daine Prabhu, of genuine knowledge of Shuddha Bhakti, beginning with the science of one's relationship with Krishna, Sri Krishna Sambandha Vijnana, which leads to practical devotional service. Okay, now let's look at the early life of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, his appearance. He appeared at 3:30 p.m. on 6th February 1874. The 5th day of the dark lunar fortnight in the month of Govinda, Magh Krishna Panchami. He appeared in, where did he appear? Mahaprabhu, where did Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur appear? Jagannath Puri. He appeared in Puri, the site of the famous temple of Lord Jagannath, and one of the holiest places where Lord Chaitanya himself had resided for 18 years. He was absorbed in ecstasies of Krishna consciousness. It's still there. Sri Chaitanya Mat, established at the site of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's appearance place. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's advent in Puri is particularly significant. Now there's a verse. We'll read the verse, and if we see that verse, then we see that his appearance in Puri is very significant. Shri Brahma Rudra Sanaka Vaishnava Kshiti Pavana Chatvaraste Kalau Bhavya Hyut Kale Purushottamat. Translation. In Kali Yuga, the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, which are purifiers of the earth, will appear in Purushottam Kshetra, in Utkal. Now, you know, in a Sanskrit verse, you can interpret it in so many ways. Anyway, it says here that the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, the purifiers of the earth, will appear in Puri. What was significant in the life of Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur is that he deeply studied all the Sampradayas. he actually, first of all, he studied Shankara Sampradaya in such a detail, speaking with the sannyasis, reading their books and going to their libraries. After some time, people thought he is gone. He went on the Mayavadi side. But it was a case of knowing the enemy to defeat. Also, we'll see that in Bagh Bazar in Kolkata, he actually invited a senior Vaishnava scholar, a Sri Vaishnava scholar, and he stayed there for 1 month. That 1 month he spoke with him in detail, understood the philosophy and so many aspects. And he wrote a book on that. And he later did the same for Madhva Sampradaya. So, he also studied the other Vaishnava Sampradayas. So now, this verse is explaining that the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas, purifiers of the earth, appeared in Puri. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, we could say, perhaps he began and laid the foundation for the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas to come together. He established Sri Chaitanya Math, and there the main temple, Gandharvika Giridhari, on the 4 sides are the 4 Vaishnava Acharyas. He had this vision because one of his Shiksha Guru, and we can say worldly sense father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself said that in future all Vaishnava Sampradayas will find their conclusions in Gaudiya Sampradaya. They'll all come into this. So, the fact that he appeared in Puri, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, and this verse says, the 4 purifiers of the earth, the 4 Vaishnava Sampradayas will appear in Puri, significant. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur appeared in his parents' rented home, which due to their being pure devotees, continually reverberated with Sankirtan. It belonged to Sri Ramachanda Arthya, a rich Calcutta businessman who had built it on land leased from Dakshina Parashva Math. It was situated on Grand Road. I think all of you have seen it. Hardly a quarter of a mile from Lord Jagannath's temple, just south of the landmark Narayan Chatmatra Math, close to Jagannath Vallabh Udyan, the garden that had been frequented by Lord Chaitanya. See where he appeared. First of all, it was a dham, but within the dham where he appeared, the path of the Rath, right next to Jagannath Vallabh garden, where Mahaprabhu used to rest during Rath Yatra, and so Krishna. At the time of his appearance, it's mentioned that the umbilical cord was wrapped around, just like a Upavid, Brahmin thread, and it left a permanent mark. During infancy, his sizable brain made his head look unusually large. Even if you see pictures of Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, you see that he has a big head, especially that. So he had a big, it's mentioned here, because of his large brain. His father was the Pamari Vaishnavacharya Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, himself a great personality. He had many children, something like 10, 11 children, I can't recall the number. Again, if you want to see, this is Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur. So what about his father? Who was that personality who brought him into this world and preached to him? And who is his Shiksha Guru? This Sampradaya of Gaudiya Sampradaya, everyone, illustrious personalities appeared. Such a great personalities. As an ideal Acharya in the Grihastha Ashram, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur oversaw an extensive family and discharged important responsibility as a senior government officer, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur himself. Yet was still prodigiously active in Krishna's service. He had a very high material position, but he was active in bhakti. Not that I'm doing my work, this is my work, and little bhakti I do. No, he did a lot of service for Krishna and Vaishnava, especially in the way of publishing so many books, giving lectures and preaching widely. Every evening after returning from work, he took his meal, slept from 8 o'clock till 12 at night. Then he woke up and wrote for several hours. He wrote many books. By such dedication throughout his life, he composed over 100 books in Sanskrit, Bengali, and English. Other languages, it's mentioned that he wrote a book in Urdu also, and other languages. They are not available now, but it's known like that. He also preached widely among lettered and common folk. He preached at two levels. Bhaktivinoda Thakur materially had a very high position. He was mixing with the British senior, also what we call Bhadralok, that time in Bengal. The people who were known as the gentlemen, they were educated in English medium schools, and they themselves were mixing with the British people. They were known as Bhadralok, gentle, cultured people. So he preached among them, and he preached among the common villagers. He wrote simple Bengali songs, so many, and preached among them also. So different classes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was instrumental in relocating and establishing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance place. It's mentioned in his book. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote an autobiography. Generally, Vaishnavas do not write autobiographies, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a Manjari. He's a personal servant of Radha Krishna, the gopis. So we want to know his story. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself, if we study, because he is a Shiksha Guru, and we can say in a worldly sense, father of BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Thakur, but they didn't have that relation. They were not like father. Bhaktisiddhanta saw him as Acharya, as Guru, not as father. That will be explained later on here. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur himself was such a great Acharya within this line, and he actually traced his lineage to a line of the first people who settled in Calcutta. That time it was actually, how did the name Kolkata come about, you know? It's mentioned here, Kalighat. There was a place. So the first people to settle there, he traces his line there. So now, BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati Thakur, when he appeared, he was given the name Bimala Prasad. Bimala Prasad. There's a reason for that. Just before that, let's look at Bhaktivinoda Thakur's. Let's look at the appearance, just before the appearance. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's promotion of the pure, original teachings of Lord Chaitanya had made some headway in bringing his prediction closer to fruition. But Lord Chaitanya had said that his movement will spread all over the world and among all the people. So that was very difficult to believe that time, because India was under British. No one will listen to anything Indian, because themselves they are not, separate country. Not only that, but it was a difficult position since British were in charge. It was difficult to do anything religious, cultural. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he brought the movement closer to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's predictions. Still longing for East and West to unite in Krishna Bhakti, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted, it was his desire. He's known as the grandfather of ISKCON, of Krishna consciousness movement, because he first put into words and his desire that this movement should spread among the acharyas. Let this movement spread all over the world. Let East and West unite to propagate the movement. Now he kept longing for that. He used to speak about that and write about it. Then one night in a dream, Lord Jagannath told Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, I didn't bring you to Puri to execute legal matters. because he was in Jagannath Puri. He was the head of the, he was a church, head of the Supreme Court, High Court judge. Here, but I didn't, Lord Jagannath told him, I didn't bring you here to execute legal matters, but to establish Vaishnava Siddhanta. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur responded, your teachings have become significantly depreciated. Teachings have become lost and covered. I lack the power to restore them. Much of my life has passed, and I am an old man, and I am otherwise engaged. Please send somebody from your personal staff so that I can start this movement. He directly in the dream, he spoke to Lord Jagannath. So Lord Jagannath directed him to pray to the deity of Bimala Devi. Bimala Devi is in Jagannath temple, and actually there's a story for that why Lord Jagannath appeared. He appeared because there were many reasons. So one of them was that it's mentioned that Parvati, she was lamenting that it's my role, my duty is to cover people and take them away from you. What a thankless task I have, what a task, that I have to take people away from you and I have to reside where you are not there. Maya Devi. So, and plus Lord Shiva had gotten some prasad from Vishnu, which he ate and relished and started dancing in ecstasy. And when Parvati came, give me some part of that, there was nothing left. So again she was greatly lamenting. And that time Lord Krishna said that, Vishnu said that, okay, I am going to appear and I will bring, my prasad will be available to you first and all living entities, but it will come to you first. So therefore the deity of Bimala Devi is established, Bimala, Durga. So now here Lord Jagannath himself told Bhaktivinoda Thakur to pray to Bimala Devi for someone to descend to help him establish the mission of Lord Chaitanya. In this way, just as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had appeared in response to the call of Sri Advaita Prabhu, Srila BhaktisiddhantaSarasvati was sent by Lord Chaitanya to fulfill the prayers of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Even before Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's advent, his great-grandfather had predicted from his deathbed that an extraordinary sadhu would take birth in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house. It was predicted. So when he appeared, an astrologer came to calculate. That was a Vedic tradition, that when the child appeared, the astrologer gave an indication about his life. Actually, Srila Prabhupada mentions this in one quote. I was investigating that time on astrology. So he said that it's the duty of the father to take the horoscope of the child to prepare him for his life, because he should understand what are his challenges, what will his strengths be, his weaknesses, and prepare him for that. It's a duty. It's Vedic culture. So an astrologer commissioned to calculate the chart, natal chart, declared that the newborn's body possessed all 32 symptoms of an exalted personage. I remember reading this in Rasikananda book also. When Rasikananda appeared, Shyamananda's exalted disciple in Orissa, Utkal, that time it's mentioned that he had all the symptoms. You know, people had knowledge that time, they could tell by seeing. Just like when they saw Shukadev Goswami, he was 16 years old, boy, came in an assembly of rishis and munis. But when Parikshit Maharaj asked that I want to know all knowledge that is to know before I die. So at that time, all of them pointed at Shukadev Goswami. He appeared, they all stood up. So it's explained, why did they stand up? They don't know him, they didn't know him. Because they saw his features. They could understand a person born having these features is exalted personality. So here, actually in Shastra it's mentioned, Pancha Dirga Pancha Sukshma Sapta Rakta Shad Unnataha Trihrasa Prito Gambhiro Dvatirimsha Lakshano Mahan. So it describes the 32 principles. So I won't go deep into that. But the astrologer said, what did he say? I have done many horoscopes in my life, but I have never before seen one replete with all the signs of an eminent personality. The child will become world famous as a teacher of the ultimate goal of life. Astrologers saying. The boy was the 6th child in a family of 13. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 13. The 4th of 8 sons and 3rd by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's with his 2nd wife, Srimati Bhagavad Devi. So he was given the name Bimala Prasad because Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed to Bimala Devi and he appeared. When he appeared, they looked at his symptoms and said that he's an exalted personality. So they called him Bimala Prasad, Prasad of mercy of Bimala Devi. Sometime he was simply called Bimala or Bimu or Binu thereof. In accordance with Bengali custom, his younger brothers addressed him as Nada. Is it? Nada, they say. Which is 4th brother. Culture is not surviving now. Traditionally, high-class Indian families retained an oral record of their lineage, going back to Lord Brahma, the first created being in the universe. After Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Tirobhav, his genealogy was published in an article about him in Sajjana Toshani, the journal which he established, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So if you want to understand, here it is. The lineage was quite long. I don't know how much we should read. Okay, this is a lot. We can't read everything. But anyway, he has his line from Lord Brahma. Childhood and youth. Bimala Prasad was 5 months old at the time of Lord Jagannath's Rath Yatra. And his father's house was situated along the parade road or Grand Road. So although the procession usually finishes in a few hours, this time the cart came and stopped for 3 days outside the home of his dear devotee, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. During that period, Bhaktivinoda Thakur arranged for continuous Sankirtan, festival for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath. They could not move the cart, whatever they did. That happens often. It happened once in the first Rath Yatra, it happened. And that time Srila Prabhupada said that this is a pastime of Lord Jagannath. When he wants to stop, he'll stop. When he wants to move, he'll move. We think we are pulling the cart. Taking advantage of the auspicious opportunity where the cart was right in front of the house of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he directed his wife to bring her baby to the cart, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur. Upon being placed at the lotus feet of Lord Jagannath, the infant reached out his tiny arms to touch the feet of the deity. Now how old is the child? Who remembers? 30 seconds ago I said. 5 months. At 5 months, what sense do we have generally? 5 months. We don't have any sense. Just eat, pass through. Now here what happened. They put the child, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, at the feet of Lord Jagannath, and he reached out his arms to touch the feet of Lord Jagannath. Lord Jagannath immediately reciprocated by offering his own garland, which fell from the body and encircled the child. That same day, Bimala Prasad, actually it was the Annaprashna ceremony, Sanskar. So that same day, this ceremony was performed, and it was conducted with Jagannath Mahaprasad. Also performed was the traditional ceremony of placing the baby amid various objects such as rice paddy, money and scriptures to see which one he will clasp as indicative of his future vocational prosperity, propensity. Again, I saw that in that book, Rasikananda, they did the same thing. And I think it was done among traditional people. The child's spontaneous grasping of Srimad Bhagavatam further intimated his devotional inclination. From the wonderful happening on Lord Jagannath's cart, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur realized this child was Lord Chaitanya's answer to his prayer for an empowered soul to help him in his mission. He thus resolved to specially care for this son, and from the beginning trained him in pure devotional service. When Bimala Prasad was 10 months old, his mother brought him by palanquin to Ranaghat in Nadia district, where he spent his early years. So his initial growing up was there. It's on the way. If you're driving from Kolkata to Mayapur, Ranaghat comes, big town. Bimala was not more than 4 years old when an incident occurred that foretold the character of the future Acharya. He took a mango before it had been offered to the family Govardhan Shila, for which Bhaktivinoda Thakur rebuked him. All food is to be enjoyed by the Lord. Nothing should be taken unless first offered to Krishna. You have committed a serious offense, told him. So the child became greatly contrite, very disturbed, and immediately vowed never again to eat mangoes. In later years, after he had become an acknowledged spiritual leader, he was often offered mangoes, but he always refused, saying, I am an offender. And he used to quote, he'll say that, and then he'll quote the verse, Ishavasyamidam sirvan yat kincha jagatyan jagat tena tyaktena bhunjita ma gridakasya siddhanam, from Isha Upanishad, first text. Everything within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. Therefore, one should accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and should not accept things knowing well to whom they belong, accept other things. So, Ishavasyavidam Sira, everything belongs to God, not to us. In childhood, Bhaktivinoda Thakur made him chant compulsorily. Now, what do sometimes parents say? Let the child grow up, he'll decide if he wants to be a devotee. It's up to him, we should not force. But we are eternal servants of Krishna. We must serve. What is the choice? It's offense not to. A proper parent will make him do Krishna Bhakti. In 1881, Bhaktivinoda Thakur had tulsi beads brought from Puri for Bimala and instructed him in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra on them. He also initiated Bimala into the mantra for worshipping Lord Narasimhadev at that childhood, basically, young age. So now everyone is saying, which Narasimha mantra was he given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur? There was difference of opinion, but it's generally understood that he was given that Ugram Viram Mahavishnu mantra. The same year, Kurmadev Shaligram was unearthed while he was building a house he named Bhakti Bhavan in Ram Bagan neighborhood of Calcutta. They got a Shila while building a house. Although according to social custom, a thus discovered Shaligram or deity of Vishnu should be presented to a member of the Brahmana caste, as only born Brahmanas were considered fit to worship such forms. But Thakur Bhaktivinoda responded to Bimala's desire to worship that Shila and taught him the process and appropriate mantras. At a young age, he started worshipping a Shila. From that time, Bimala started wearing tilak, following standard devotional practices, marking his formal entry into Vaishnav Dharma. Now, he was given the Kurmadev Shila. They found the Kurmadev Shila and he started worshipping it. So now, here it's mentioned that one of his disciples, Srimad Bhakti Vilas Bharati Maharaj, detailed the significance of Kurmadev, the tortoise form of Vishnu, in Rasa Vichar. Kurmadev is described in Alankar Shastra as the deity of Adbhuta Rasa, the mellow of wonder that makes other rasas ever newly wonderful. This wonder is most wonderful in the Leela of Sri Gauranga, who is Krishna attempting to taste the wonder of himself and even more wonderfully distributing the wonder of his most wonderful pastimes to all, including the most fallen. If you didn't get it, you can just go back in the video, hear it again. Therefore, In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami repeatedly uses the words Achintya, Chamatkar and Chira, to all of which indicate inconceivable wonder. Kurmadev signifies that. That's understanding maybe why he was given the Kurmadev Shaligram to worship. While still young, Bimala composed 2 Sanskrit verses describing the impression of Lord Chaitanya's feet melted in stone within Jagannath temple. You know that place? Jagannath, Lord Chaitanya taking darshan behind Garuda on the wall. Then you can see a cone of Jagannath deity. There, in love of God, he melted the stone. So describing that, he wrote 2 verses. The gist being that Mahaprabhu's heart was so tender in distributing love of Krishna and so distressed at the unhappiness of others that even the stone where he placed his feet became soft and melted with love. This is the explanation. That stone melted because Mahaprabhu's heart was so soft, out of love of God and the desire to spread this, that even that stone became soft and melted. So Bimala Prasad was clearly not an ordinary boy. He had exceptional ability to remember and comprehend all kinds of topics. He had a powerful memory. We saw that throughout his life. He was known as a walking encyclopedia. Memorized many verses in many shastras. His voracious reading and his ability to exactly recall passages he had read only once earned him the epithet living encyclopedia. Even in his last days, he could reproduce verbatim any part of any book he had read 50 years ago. Okay, we'll stop here. Continue tomorrow. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai.